Hey guys, it's Ray here, and in this video I'll be showing you how to fight members of the Order of Ascension. So Order of Ascension members are situated in the Ascension dungeon, which is north of Ooglog and east of mobilizing armies and south of the Feldip Hills. You can use the ferry ring to get here and run south, or you can just use Spirit Tree or the mobilizing armies teleport and run east, or you can use the fastest route, which is the Ooglog Lodestone, after the quest as a first resort. Ascension creatures are weak to ranged or specifically bolts, which is why I'm using a crossbow here, although you can use arrows or thrown weapons and as per your preference. I'm using my normal items, hybrid armor with Asylum Surgeon's Ring and Dragon Rider Amulet for the damage bonuses. I'm using hybrid because I don't have a good ranged armor at the moment, but you can just use ranged armor, which is much better here. I'm using a Slayer helmet because they are currently my Slayer task. In my inventory I have a coin accumulator for picking up the coin drops, fire runes and nature runes for high alchemy spells for some of the drops, enhanced Excalibur for a little extra healing. So that's basically it. I also have a spring cleaner for managing some of the drops. So there are 4 kinds of Ascension creatures. The first one are the rorarii, which you can see here. They're tiny and they're easy to kill. There are nothing special about them, but if you attack one of them, all of them get accuracy towards you, and the tiny magic damage adds up over time for a lot. So you'll need to be using either deflect magic or soul split at all the times if you want to stay for long trips. The next one is the Squitarius, which have really high defense because of the shields they hold in front of them, which absorbs almost 80% of the damage. It's very ineffective to kill them because they don't have any good drops for the effort required. You need to stun them and run behind them, shoot them from the back, so they can't block your attacks with their shield. That's just too much effort, or you need 2 players to fight them effectively. So let's just not bother with them. The third kind of Ascension monsters are the Capsarius. They're not very tough by themselves. They only have 3000 life points and they're pretty weak. They drop items related to magic and rune crafting, such as unpowered orbs, pure essence, battle staves, all those things, along with runes of course. But the tricky part is when you're fighting another monster, the Capsarius may heal the monster and increase its defense by a lot, so you cannot attack the monster anymore because it's just too defensive, too strong, like you can see here. You can see the Capsarius healing and increasing its defense, and I cannot do any damage on it. So in order to fight it effectively, I must kill the Capsarius first, and then the Rorari's defense will be gone and I can fight it effectively again. So that's it about the Capsarius, and I'll move on to the final Ascension member, which is the Gladius. These are the hardest monsters to fight in this dungeon, of course excluding the bosses. They're not exactly hard, but they're tricky and annoying at times because of their mechanics which stun you. The Gladius can take a step back and jump at you in an elf-shaped pattern similar to the knight on a chessboard, and it stuns you because that's what its special attack does when it jumps at you. So it's annoying and people find it really ineffective to kill these because of all the mechanics. You have to pay so much attention to it, you have to click so many times, you have to wait for the stun to remove. So here I'll be showing you how to fight them quickly without any trouble. You can just wait it out the lazy way for the stun to wear out, so it's not effective and it's very slow, so I would not recommend that. An effective way to kill the Gladius will be to use Snipe as your first attack to do a lot of damage. Use Freedom as soon as it jumps at you, and then use another attack to kill it. So you don't get stunned and you kill it, but your Freedom gets on cooldown for the next kill, so you cannot use the same method again. So for the second kill you use anticipate and use rapid fire or another threshold ability to bring its life points down quickly. Anticipate lasts for 10 seconds and it makes you immune to stuns, which means you can kill the Gladius before it stuns you. Now anticipate is on cooldown, so again you'll have to use another method to kill the next Gladius. Of course my freedom is available now, so I can just freedom it and use another ability to fight it. It's a good idea to use binding shot or tight bindings and follow it with piercing shot immediately, because the piercing shot ability does 188% weapon damage to stunned opponents. So here you can see I got a Ascension Keystone Tertius, which is worth 206k in G, which is quite good. So another method for killing Gladius without getting stunned is by stepping close to it, because they stun only if you're 4 squares or more away from them. So if you stay close to them, they won't really stun you. They'll have to take a step back to jump at you, which gives you enough time to kill them with abilities. It takes a little bit of clicking, but it's very easy to kill them and you get really fast kills this way. So when you have anticipate, it's recommended to use the rapid fire method because it's less effort and you can just kill it with one threshold ability. And for the next kill you can just use freedom and another threshold to bring it down quickly. And for the last method you can just step close to it to prevent being stunned. Sometimes they can go in hiding behind these pillars and they'll force you to come out at them and they'll get the opportunity to stun you. If you have used anticipate, it might get wasted because of all the running around the pillars. So basically that's the Ascension dungeon for you. So another thing I wanted to talk to you about was the bronze bolts, why I brought them here. So these Ascension monsters have these 100% drops, Ascension shards and Ascension fragments. Ascension shards can be used to create Ascension bolts with a fleshing level of 90, or you can use them to make Death Lotus darts at ports with level 92 fleshing. Of course you need to have the scroll for it completed, and Ancient Bones, which makes 1 bone for 25 darts. And yes, so the Ascension fragments are the second 100% drop of the Ascension monsters, which you can use to tip bronze bolts to create fragment bolts. These are level 50 bolts, but they only give 48 damage against most monsters, but they do 768 damage versus the Ascension monsters, which is almost as good as the level 80 bolt, like royal bolts. So these have a special effect against Ascension monsters which make them do more damage against them. Of course the damage is quite inconsistent when you use fragment shot, but the damage bonus is quite different from the normal level 80 bolts. And these bolts are free to make if you have the bronze bolts, so they're a good alternative to any other bolts for usage in Ascension dungeon. Although I still prefer my level 85 Y1 bolts or Ascension bolts if you're using Ascension crossbows, but if you're using a royal crossbow, I think this fragment bolts would be better for usage here. So thanks for watching. That's it for the Ascension guide. Hope you liked it.